My paintings, which are now using birds as principal imagery frequently, grew out of a absolute lifetime fascination with birds. Something occurred very early in life, before I was more than 3 years old. A red-winged blackbird flew by in display in front of this perfect June green background. And I think that since then, my interest was just set in stone. And at some point, I discovered Quetico Provincial Park in Ontario. The animal occupants of the paintings are ones that could occur in that place. Some of them are things that I have intimate relationships with, and some of them are things I wish I had. And some are ones I never even saw. And the history of the paintings is a very prosaic, dumb thing, which demonstrates the value of goofing up and failing. Having a painting that was just dumb as could be, and I could not make it interesting, so I had to do something with that painting to make it interesting. And I decided to add animals or birds to it, and kept adding more and more, which made it more and more interesting, and it turned out to be very popular and successful, and I have sort of been set adrift on that path since then. I don't know why they all fly or run in the same direction. That was a coincidence, and it feels so right that I just keep doing it. Now, I was making paintings that are fictional completely. They're not descriptions of any actual place or any actual time or event. Since the paintings were all fictional, I gave them fictional names too, like Portage to Cache Lake or something. Well, Cache Lake exists and you can portage to it, but that's not what the painting was about. But it still was an interesting sounding title. In the parts of making those titles, I started using the names of the lakes that I had traveled on. And before too long, I ran out of lakes that I had traveled on, so I didn't want to say it again. And I started buying U.S. Geological Survey maps of all over the place, and I scoured them for names of lakes. I finally got to the point where I used those up. Well, I became good friends with a fellow professor at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee who headed the Indian Studies department. And that guy had a copy of a book, which was a lexicon of the Ojibwe language, Ojibwe to English and English to Ojibwe, created in the 1500s. Now what I'm able to do, and I still use this, I can either think of something that I want the painting to be about in English and then find an Ojibwe translation, or else I can go to the Ojibwe section and look for a word that looks beautiful, sounds right as well as I can pronounce it, and if its meaning is in some way or other connected to what's in the painting, then that painting becomes, Windy Goose to go on, or something like that. And I intend this to be, an additional element of interest and mystery in the paintings, and also a nod of appreciation to those people who I know up there that I like so much.